Right guys, welcome back to a brand new video. We are back for game week 21 of our Premier League predictions with Thogden.
Hey, I'm always here.
Is that it? You're always here? That's all you have to add?
Yeah.
Fair play. There's not much to say this week because there's only 4 games. So let's firstly look at what were the results from last week, Dad?
Well, last week we had the brilliant expressions oozing. The trouble is he wasn't oozing correct predictions. 2 points, but what a legend. Thogdad got 8 points, which means... way out ahead.
Read it out. Come
you
on.
also got 8 points. And overall, 170 to the guest, 182 to Thogden, and Thogdad 211 points. I'm winning it all day
No, you're a
long.
mug, Dad. That's what you are. You can't just do that to me.
If you've got an issue, I've got a tissue.
We've got a great guest on today. As you can tell, I've not just worn this shirt for no reason. Come on, guess the guest. Go on, be clever, go on.
Oh, I have no idea, but surely it can't be Spencer FC because he's too big for us.
He certainly is, Dad. He's our guest. What would you
No.
He's a legend, Dad. He's our mate. Come on.
Now, is it true that he likes prawn cocktail crisps?
That's such a random thing to say. Why? Quick cut. Unfortunately, lads, Spencer was super busy this week and just didn't have time to get the content over with, and he will be in at a future date. So, guys, don't worry. We've got his legendary brother, Seb, on golf on the channel. West Ham fan as well, top guy. His channel will be in the description. So what are you going for, mate? Why have you said that?
Spencer, congratulations on the baby. That is brilliant
Yes,
news.
congratulations. And project, hashtag, future hashtag player. Depending on what league you're in by the moment he's on, like, who knows? Amazing story with hashtag and West Ham. Thogden, what do you mean? What do you say I'm waffling?
And the first game, Theo, is Fulham in 18th against Leeds United in 12th. Now, these are two teams who failed to score last week. Fulham lost 3-0 to Man City, didn't they? And 2 points behind Newcastle, 3 points behind Brighton. How important is this game?
It's huge for Fulham. If they can win this game, they can find their way out the relegation zone for the first time in absolutely ages. And they've been on a really good run recently until they played Man City, probably the best team in the world, and even though they've rotated players, every single player in a blue, light blue shirt is unbelievable. They weren't really going to go out there and get 3 points, but Fulham overall recently have been pretty solid, haven't they?
They have, Theo, and I like the defence, and I've got Adebayo in my team.
Yeah.
Now, they're playing Leeds United, and last week they drew 0-0 to Chelsea, which I think is a fantastic result.
It's not a bad result.
Remember, Chelsea went out and beat the Spanish #1 team, Atletico Madrid, 2-0.
Yeah, that was a great result. They beat them over 2 legs twice. That just shows you how good Chelsea are, which makes you think Leeds getting a 0-0 draw under Tuchel recently, that's not a bad result, is it? To keep a clean sheet, everyone has a go at Leeds' defence. Maybe they've improved recently that way.
Absolutely. Now, Rafinha is key here. He's going to create lots of chances. He does every week, but will Bamford play? That is key, isn't it, Theo?
It is key. What, is there a doubt that he might be out?
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, he got a little bit of an injury last time out.
Yes, I do remember that. Rafinha was weak against Chelsea. He didn't look to his top performance that we've seen over the last few weeks before that, so I hope he turns it around for both our fantasy Premier League regions. I'm sure Spencer will be saying the same. But listen, I don't know which way this game will go. Last time they faced it ended 4-3. It was a 7-goal thriller. Mitrovic scored 2 and Helder Costa scored 2. Both of them don't even play for those sides anymore. Well, they're in the team, but they're not regulars. It's been a while since they've last played. I'm going to sit on the fence here and go for a 1-1 draw. I can't see Fulham having enough to win, but if they do, they can find a way out of the relegation zone. So it probably means more to them. What about you, Dad?
Well, Theo, I'm happy because I'm going for the same result, a 1-1 draw.
Right, Fulham versus Leeds. Fulham are definitely improved and Leeds are just so inconsistent. I think this one is going to be pretty cagey. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
And the next game, Brighton and Hove Albion 16th against Newcastle United in 17th. A massive relegation tussle. Now, last week, Brighton, they won away at Southampton, and it was Dunk and Trossard who were the heroes. And Josh Fusion is very, very happy right now.
But it shouldn't be Lewis Dunk. It shouldn't be the centre-back that you rely on to score the goals. There's a serious problem of a lack of a goal scorer in that Brighton team. If they had someone who could score a goal, imagine they had like every team could do with a Harry Kane. But if they had anyone who was like a Timu Pukki, just someone who was clinical, who scores goals when they get the chance, Brighton would be nowhere near a relegation battle. This wouldn't be 16th versus 17th today if they had the likes of Pukki in their team. Let's be real here. What we're going to see here is another one of those games where Brighton have a high XG, loads of chances, but they're not clinical, and the game ends in 0-0.
Yeah, now the XG of Brighton so often is higher for than against, but they just don't put the ball in the net, do they?
I know.
And I agree with you totally. But Newcastle, I feel really sorry for them. Callum Wilson, Almiron, Saint-Maximin, all injured. They're really suffering, aren't they?
They are, and they did get a sneaky 1-1 draw from somehow. I think it was like an own goal in the last, like 94th minute versus Villa. I'm sure if Villa won that game 1-0, a lot of Newcastle fans would be pointing at the gaffer saying, get out of our club. You've got to look at the injuries. It's a really tough job for Steve Bruce, isn't it?
It's really hard, and I'm afraid to say I think Newcastle are going down this season.
Really?
And I think this will be Brighton 1, Newcastle 0. I look at that expected Newcastle team and I think, who the heck is going to score here?
Good point. I get the feeling that's a very likely result, but I'm going to bet that Brighton missed their chances, and I do think they'll dominate, but they lack someone clinical. So I'm going to go Brighton 0, Newcastle 0. I think Bruce will just hold them out. A scrappy, low-scoring encounter for sure. But I want to see what Spen Doggy Dog predicts for this one, because West Ham, you know, I may have predicted them to get relegated in our predictions to start the season, but they don't have to worry about these two sides at all where they are in the league at the moment.
Brighton, you can't figure them out. Statistically, they're actually a really good defensively team and recently a good attacking team. Newcastle are the bottom end of both of those stats. I fancy Brighton for this one, but Newcastle are fighting for their lives. I think 2-1 Brighton.
And the next game is West Ham United in 5th against Arsenal in 10th. It's East London against North London. Now West Ham, they lost to Man United last week, but they've not given up on Champions League football next season. I'll tell you what, Theo, if they win this, they go level with Chelsea. And with Jesse Lingard in your team, it's going to happen, isn't it?
I want to just say congratulations to Jesse Lingard for getting the call up back into the England squad. What a huge moment for him.
He is a legend of the game, Theo.
To get back in the England squad after not even getting on the bench of the United squad for 2 seasons, it's an incredible turnaround at West Ham. I'm sure Spencer and all of the West Ham fans are just loving the fact he's playing for them, smashing it. Could there be enough in that West Ham side to beat Arsenal, Dad?
Well, week in, week out, they show what a brilliant team they are. And I tell you what, Arsenal are a funny one. I said it last week. I actually know the story. The main story with Arsenal is Aubameyang. What's going on there, Theo?
I know. Aubameyang is a very good story. It's good you brought this one up, Dad. Late to training, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
He got stuck on the Muswell Hill road. And it's just such a London thing to do, but you've got to take into account the London traffic, mate. You know, if you turn up late and leave the coach behind, you're not going to get any game time. But they didn't even need Aubameyang to win the North London derby. Arsenal still won 2-1.
It was amazing. Now, we live streamed that and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Ødegaard had a cracking game. Smith Rowe was incredible.
I thought Smith Rowe was underrated.
Yes.
There were chances that he created that the likes of Lacazette missed. And we'd be speaking more about Smith Rowe if he got a contribution. But his teammates let him down there. But Arsenal were the better side and dominated.
They were, Theo. And trouble is, which Arsenal's going to turn up?
Well, recently on their form, they've been one of the top 4 teams in the league.
Yes.
And I know West Ham are 6th on the form table, so they're both doing really well. Over the last 15 games, they're both right up there. Arteta and David Moyes both doing solid jobs, and I think both their jobs are completely safe. You know, both positive clubs, both doing well. West Ham have only drawn once in the last 10 games. You know, at the Olympic Stadium, they've won the last 3. They're smashing it. I get the feeling this will be a draw. A 1-1 draw. I think they'll accept it. I think both have enough in them to sneak a goal from somewhere. 1-1.
Absolutely, Theo, and I'm just going to agree with you. 1-1. But Spencer FC, if you've not got up for the midnight feed and you're awake, what's the score going to be?
What does even that mean?
He's got a baby, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Seb's got a baby too, so I might as well leave this one in.
My beloved West Ham versus Arsenal, hot off the heels of progressing in the Europa League and beating Spurs in the North London derby. I think 1-1 in this one. I think West Ham are going to have enough. I think both teams will score, but no one's going crazy. 1-1.
Yeah. Aston Villa in 9th against Tottenham Hotspur in 8th. Now, these are 2 teams who are disappointed in their results last week. I mean, Villa drawing with Newcastle. At least Watkins got an assist for my FPL, Theo.
Yeah, this is really a Europa League spot battle, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Both these lads would take a cheeky Europa season next year. Will they both get it? We don't know. I mean, listen, the big talking point in this game is Jack Grealish. He was planned to be back for the Tottenham game. If he starts, can Villa get a result after Spurs lost their North London derby? Things are looking a little more negative there. I know they've got Europa League game tonight, which they'll probably win. Dinamo Zagreb, good for their confidence. But what do you reckon?
Well, it's a tough one to call, isn't it? But let's talk about that Eric Lamela wonder goal. What do you call that? A nutmeg Rabona, isn't it?
It was brilliant. It's a shame he screwed it and got a red card later in the game.
I know. But the thing is, last week we live streamed that game and I was shocked by Jose's tactics or lack of them.
Right.
You could see within 5 minutes that Arsenal were outplaying Spurs, particularly down that right. They were getting torn apart and Jose did nothing. It wasn't until the last 15 minutes that, Harry Kane was relied upon to try and get an equaliser. So very poor work from Jose.
No, you're right. It simply wasn't good enough. And they're going to need a Kane and Bale masterclass here for Spurs fans, because Son is injured, and if he plays, it'll probably be 10 minutes. There is a plan that Jose might potentially bring him back for the game, but I think he'll just rest him and let him take the international break off and get him ready again. But can Kane and Bale do it? Of course they can. They're two great footballers. Spurs have lots of squad depth. They've got enough in this to get a win here, and I think they will. It'll be tight though. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. But if Grealish is back and looking good, it wouldn't surprise me if Villa cause an upset here.
Yeah, I don't think Grealish is the story here. I don't think he'll be back, and if he is, he won't be match fit. Now, the key is, can Spurs click back into a winning mentality? Can they go into this game and think we can score 3 or 4 goals?
Right.
Because if they win this one, they can go 5th, and the North London derby will be sort of forgotten for a while.
Yeah.
I'm just going to agree with you. 1-0 to Spurs.
Okay. And Kane to score for you?
Yeah, he always scores, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's
maybe
my
a Bale
captain.
goal. How many of you have got an FPL? You signed Kane, Son and Bale last week.
Yeah, that went well, didn't it?
Yeah, but you've got all 3 of them coming up for the next game week if Son gets a few minutes as well.
Absolutely. That's enough of our waffles.
Villa Spurs, what's going on? Is Grealish going to play for Villa? I think that's a massive decision. If Villa get Grealish fit, I think they can hurt Spurs right now. Without them, I think Spurs will still have enough. I'm going to say Grealish to feature, but Spurs to still somehow sneak a 1-0 win.
And yeah, you've got to go back and go support him. I'm sure you already are subscribed though. Thogdad, I want to ask you a question. Spencer, I'd love to see your fantasy Premier League team. Put it on the screen now. I'd love to know what you're doing for that as well. Thogdad, have you got any changes coming up this week?
Well, I tell you what, it's Spencer's brother Seb that I'm worried about, because we're neck and neck in the YouTube league. I'm thinking of bringing in Antonio, Theo.
But most importantly, this is the week I'm going to re-overtake Thogdad in the FPL YouTube League. Want that top spot back? Thogdad, I'm coming for you.
Okay.
Selling Calvert-Lewin, bringing in Antonio.
Yeah, well, it's likely that West Ham will score at home because they score a lot of goals at home and they win a lot of games. And Arsenal are on form, but Antonio is a very good shout. I'm looking at potentially Grealish.
Wow.
He might be back and I think he'll score and he'll be good for the next few games. Comment down below which fantasy Premier League changes you'll be looking at. Remember, get them done before 8 o'clock tonight. If you're watching this on the day of release, there is a game on. Loads of live streams. We might potentially live stream every single game on Saturday and Sunday. Well, there's only 4 games. So if you guys would like to see us do that, make sure you have notifications on and subscribe if you're new around here as well. What was the like target today?
Our like target is 12,000.
No, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. I'll leave if that's the like target.
Okay, 14,000.
That's a little bit better. Yeah, it is Spencer. Come on, 14k likes. Let's absolutely hammer it for Spencer and all the boys. When we get a big guest on, it has to be a solid like target. So guys, make sure you subscribe here. Road to 1 million. Maybe one day we'll hit that. Who knows? Every subscriber counts. Right, lads, time for the second part of the video, the FA Cup quarter-final predictions. We thought with only 4 games in the Premier League this week, we might as well go through the FA Cup games. Now, one second, let me just go grab Thogdad quickly. Yeah, just comment the video. Walk off, mate. What are you on about, mate? What are you doing? Don't know how to explain this one, lads, but he's not doing it. Lads, raid his Instagram, raid his Twitter. Thogdad is a mug. He sacked us off. He's having a beer in the other room, mate. He's having a beer in the other room. He's like, he can't be asked for this Mickey Mouse tournament. Lads, it's the FA Cup. You've got to take it more serious. But I'm still going to be here giving my predictions. Let's get straight into it. The first game, Bournemouth versus Southampton. Now, is this a derby? I don't actually know. I really lost the plot. Some people call it the South Coast derby. Other people say it's pointless. Some say it's a rivalry. Some say it's a derby. There's 30 miles separating these two teams. They're both down in the South Coast. I don't know how much this game means to both those two sets of fans, but what I will say is, I reckon it's going to be a proper ding-dang-do. It's going to be a Christmas cracker, and it ain't even Christmas. I'm going for a 5-goal thriller. I think Bournemouth will get the win. Jack Wilshere masterclass, just to shine for the Arsenal fans. But Bournemouth to win in the South Coast derby, which isn't really a derby. On to the next game. And it's Everton versus City at Goodison Park. A game where we all know Everton going to turn up. They love playing against the big clubs. City, they've just played in the Champions League. They've got a lot of games, but they also have a lot of squad depth. Will they win the Cup? They are the favourites. Pep Guardiola could do the bloody quadruple this year. For this one, I reckon Everton will turn up. I really do. They love to play well in big games, but they don't love to play well at home. So it really depends what Toffee's team turns up. I reckon Richarlison will take this game by the scruff of his own neck, get a double, he'll score, a little brace. And I think Everton, yeah, I see 2-2 at full time. I think it'll go all the way to penalties where the Toffees will do it. Richarlison will score the winner and shush the City players, really. It'll go straight over to Pep. Don't know why. Whatever, let's move on to the next video. And that's Chelsea versus Sheffield United. Now, God, Sheffield United aren't having the bestest of 2021, sacking their manager. Okay, Chris Wilder walked. I know it says that on paper. But really, I reckon what happened is Sheffield United owners went to him and said, if you don't leave, then we'll sack you. And, you know, it will make you look worse. I reckon they came to an agreement where let's make it look good in the public, where you walk, but really, we want you to go. And I think it's a terrible decision. I actually really feel for Blades fans. I think they should have kept Chris Wilder until the end of the season. He would have done a better job than anybody you could have brought in. And they got bloody Hecking Bottom doing a job right now. And how's that job doing? 5-0 losses all around the block. I mean, quite frankly, they're getting knocked out. And even a Chelsea second team will wipe the floor. 3-0, Billy Gilmore masterclass. Even Aneurin is going to score a back post header. I've said it. Okay, I've said it. I reckon, yeah, 3-0, no problems for Chelsea's second team. You want some? What you want some? What you want to do now?
Do you want some? I'll give it you.
Finally, the last FA Cup game is Leicester versus Man United. Absolute cracker, this one, because both teams are doing well in the Premier League. Leicester flying high. They fly so high. No, they're not West Ham though. They don't even have Harvey Barnes or James Maddison at the moment. Yeah, Iheanacho and other players that come into the pitch are really performing. I reckon it'll be 1-1 at full time. I think Iheanacho will score another. By the way, his interview at the end of last game was absolutely brilliant. I think Man United, it'll be a Bruno penalty. Yeah, Bruno penalty. And then it'll go to extra time. There'll be no goals until the 120th minute. There'll be 2 minutes of extra time. 122nd minute. Bruno. Oh, he's hurt himself in the box. He goes down. Another Bruno penalty. I'm telling you now, Leicester 1, Man United 2. 2 Bruno penalties to send them through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. You heard it here first. Right, that's the little bit of bonus content there from me. Thog Dad is off getting absolutely pissed, you know, in the other side of the gaff. He's on the bloody, you know what, he's so, you know, you might have drank up the vodka as well. I don't even know what that geezer's on right now, but he's consumed a lot of beverages, and I don't think he'd actually be able to slur up a few words if we even tried to. Thank you for all the support over the last few weeks. It's the shortest game week ever, but we'll move on to the next one. We've got an international break to come up, loads of new content. Looking forward to it.
I cannot wait, Theo.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a cracker. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. The water and the brew's good. And yeah, see you in a bit. Bye.
See ya.